The Office of War Information has been working overtime after resurfacing of the Salem Tripod, which has made several attacks while travelling through the northeast of the country. Perhaps the worst case of this was the small town of Beaton, where no trace of civilization remained.
My fellow Americans and dear allies across the Americas, you may be aware by now of a great disturbance ongoing within the United States that has resulted in a large part of the country being sealed off. I sincerely apologize for my silence on the matter, but this is a highly volatile moment, not just for us, but for the history of the world. The truth of the situation is this: the northeast mainland was attacked.
We know now that in the early years of the 20th century, this world was being watched closely by intelligences greater than man's, yet as mortal as his own. We know now that as human beings busied themselves about their various concerns, they were scrutinized and studied, perhaps almost as narrowly as a man with a microscope might scrutinize the transient creatures that swarm and multiply in a drop of water. With infinite complacence, people went to and fro over the earth about their little affairs, serene in the assurance of their dominion over this small, spinning fragment of solar driftwood, which by chance or design man has inherited out of the dark mystery of time and space. Yet across an immense ethereal gulf, minds that are to our minds as ours are to the beasts in the jungle, intellects, vast, cool, and unsympathetic, regarded this earth with envious eyes, and slowly and surely drew their plans against us. In the 84th year of the 20th century will come the great disillusionment. My fellow Americans, I hope this broadcast finds you well. It's the government's fault that our messages keep being suppressed, and the truth of the Martian tripods and the war abroad is kept secret. I am Orson Welles, a voice from the past, a rebel in a world drowned in lies. Once I told stories to entertain, now I speak to awaken. The world you know is not what it seems. Buried beneath layers of deception, the truth festers. I've seen it with my own eyes, heard it through the crackle of the airwaves, and now I fight to expose the darkness they keep hidden. This isn't fiction, this is survival. The Martians are not dead, and the people pulling the strings want you to forget. But I'm still here, broadcasting the truth one signal at a time.
When we hear of an attack, we quickly send agents to try to take this thing down. But by the time we get there, it's gone. We're not entirely sure what we're dealing with here. It's blatantly different to the Martian machines we're used to. All we know is when the tripod moves, no more news comes out of that area. This being said, the area we have to keep off limits to the public grows larger with every attack, which is a problem for us, as the American people must not learn of the existence of Martian invaders. Aside from the obvious reasons that shall go unspoken, it would also certainly cause a mass panic. If we keep failing at our jobs and don't take this thing down soon, that's the situation we could find ourselves in. Fortunately, we have located the Salem Tripod's current location. As can be seen, it's just standing there, menacingly. It seems to be waiting for something. Perhaps its power has finally depleted. Either way, this seems like the most opportune time to strike. We recently declassified a video of the last time we had to deal with a Martian machine, back in 1976. It's been a while, so we wanted to remind you all of how we do things here at the Office of War Information. Although the deactivated war machine that had been rotting in a desert was naturally somewhat easy to take care of, it's been made clear that this time will be different. We're now dealing with an active threat, a machine of great destructive capability being piloted by an expert. It's already demonstrated its power against our forces, as this photograph of our initial strike shows. It's faster than it looks, and ultimately, we just don't know what we're dealing with entirely. It's clearly a different iteration to the slow, methodical war machines we previously encountered. This one looks almost unhinged. However, upon analysing the footage captured of it close up, we've since discovered that it bears a striking resemblance to photographs we had access to, thanks to our close English Allied nations' internal archives. Look at these images that have been declassified for us as per this agreement, taken from England during the Victorian period. It's very clear that although this tripod may be alien to us, it would seem our close English allies will no doubt be able to provide us with information on how to take it down, and correspondence has begun in haste. In the meantime, the Office of War Information will need to continue maintaining order by keeping the public safe from the ongoing situation. This is a complicated task that has unfortunately got to the extent that we were required to involve the President in the deception. As usual, he was happy to oblige.
The northeast mainland was attacked by a nuclear missile. In what is an example of the war abroad heating up, the first known use of nuclear weapons in decades has occurred on our own soil. However, I urge all Americans not to panic. I am committed to maintaining peace for the citizens of the Americas. As I have done for decades, I will keep us out of the war waging between the superstates of the world, and am defiant that we will not enter the conflict under any circumstances short of outright invasion. I understand that there will be much discontent over this great disaster. Our investigations have led us to believe that the missile hit our land in a grave error.
The government is keeping secrets that stretch back decades. Remember the leaked footage? How do you explain those jets, years before they were supposed to have been invented? They have technology far beyond our knowledge. Old President JPK and the ruling class are using this technology to extend their lives, consolidating their power over the people, keeping the rest of us in the dark. They don't want us to know, but I won't stay silent. Stay tuned in to the Mercury transmission, bringing you the truth, one broadcast at a time.